Thank you for being here today and congratulations for the Oscars. To start with, in your opinion, um, does cinema have a responsibility towards society? What are your views on it?
I think it's a big question. Uh, I do feel that as filmmakers, we, there are so many kinds of filmmaking. Like there are so many kinds of journalism. There are some films which are only for entertainment, which are just laugh out loud comedies. There are some films which, you know, are um, are a window into someone's life. Having said that, I do understand that cinema forms a large part of pop culture and forms a large part of a conversation, and generations get defined as we look back our cinema. A lot of filmmakers actually tell stories that they are, informed by, that we are product of our society and we try and tell those stories. I do feel that we have a certain responsibility towards representation, towards the conversations we are trying to have. It's nice to have mass media, use of mass media to build a conversation. I don't think the responsibility for change is on cinema. I do feel very sacred about the time that people give me to consume the story that I have to say. Because here is everyone amazingly intelligent with so many opinions, and they're just quiet. It's just one way narration, it's just me telling our bit of a story for a couple of hours. So I actually never want to take that for granted. I find it very sacred, the couple of hours that people give me to hear our stories. I want it to be worth their time, and I want to say something. And that is my journey as a filmmaker.
So this also brings me to the representation of women in the business of cinema. So it could be an actor, a director, a producer. Do you feel there is a lot to be done over here to bridge that disparity gap?
I think definitely the conversation of equality, the conversation of, you know, there's definitely commerce, there's definitely a certain budget that female filmmakers, that female-led films have a certain threshold. Those have been even broken through. The glass ceiling has been broken through with the Gangubai, and every decade or every year actually there are a couple of them breaking that glass ceiling and building newer grounds, and it's work in progress. It's definitely been a men-led company, men-led industry for so long, so that's not something that'll happen overnight. But I do feel like films which are very front-end by men should definitely look at how they represent their women, and even if it's a one scene, one role, the lens is important to have that kind of conscious.
Uh, you have done movies like Masan, Lunchbox, and now, of course, The Elephant Whisperers. This is now the Gunit brand of movies. So, what is the catalyst that actually makes you make cinema with such diverse protagonists?
I think I enjoy it. I enjoy it, and if I can, then why not? So it's as simple as it gets. I'm curious myself. I'm an extremely curious person. I'm fascinated. I'm curious, and I like that lens of curiosity. I have so many questions. It's a running joke in my organization that I watch a film like an audience, even though I have produced it, even though I read the script 100 times and I was on set, but I'm still crying in our rough cuts, and I'm still laughing the loudest. And my team is almost like, we're supposed to give feedback to our team. I said, well, I love it. So
This actually brings me to, which is the one yesteryear film that you would go on and on, just watch it.
Oh, I mean, I love Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. I can't double down more on that. But Chandani, all of Yash Raj films, all of Yash Chopra films. Yeah. Lamhe, Chandni, I can watch.
Yeah, Lovely was a beautiful movie actually. Awesome. Yeah. So, with Natu Natu and now, of course, The Elephant Whisperers, Indian cinema has gone to a very different level altogether. How well positioned do you really think Indian cinema is now on the international platform?
I think there is curiosity on Indian cinema forever because we're such a huge industry. We are in so many languages. I do think with Natu Natu, Elephant Whisperers, and all that Reads representing this year, there has been definitely a conversation on diversity in India because here is a big picture Telugu film, here is an intimate, small Tamil documentary with Elephant Whisperers, and all that Reads with Hindi film with Shaunak Sen helping it. Even nomination is such a big deal. Winning is out of dreams. So definitely, I think there is a lot of curiosity. There has been curiosity around Indian cinema forever, but it really comes down to the business of Indian cinemas. Because we are a 100% equity industry. I don't think we give so much time for the film to travel. There is a certain pressure that comes with equity. There is a certain responsibility that comes with a 100% equity industry, which is about marketing and release immediately. And that is kind of led into feeding it only to the diaspora market, at as quickly as that can happen and monetize it back. So, the reason Lunchbox was able to travel because it was a co-production. It was one of the first Indo-French co-productions, Indo-French, German, or even Masan. And that kind of co-production reduces the pressure on equity and allows what usually industries around the world do. So it's a two-step conversation. It is not just about the view into the Indian cinema, but it's also how we are structured and how much time do we give for films to do festivals, to have that conversation, to have a larger footprint, or even have different ways of distribution. But I do think with digital market coming in, with Netflix coming in, those borders are, definitely opening up and breakouts are happening. Now with Elephant Whispers that the whole world is watching in 190 countries, 231 million viewers. It's definitely the biggest stage in the world.
We're celebrating women today. So, in your definition, what is it being powerful?
What is being powerful? I think you can finally just cut the chase and do what you always wanted to do. So people tend to listen to the successful. People tend to lean into the successful, and the successful narrate the story of all their learnings from the failure. So power means to have, to be able to just do what you always wanted to do with little bit more ease. So yeah, here's to more films, to more stories. Thank you.